BYD just revealed a supercar that hits 100 kilometers an hour faster than a Porsche 911 Turbo S, charges from 10 to 97% in 9 minutes, and costs less than half what Porsche charges Australians for a Carrera GTS. It's called the Denza Z, and it made its global dynamic debut at the Goodwood Festival of Speed just days ago. I've gone through every confirmed spec, the government filings, and the pricing, so you know exactly what's real and what's marketing. 7 facts, counting down to the one every Australian buyer is asking, will it actually come here? And stick around for number 4, because there's one figure on the spec sheet that might stop you cold, and it's the one nobody's putting in the headlines. If you want honest BYD coverage without the hype, subscribe now. Number 7. The price that breaks the segment. The problem with electric supercars has always been the entry ticket. Rimac, Pininfarina, even the Porsche Taycan Turbo GT, you're deep into 6 figures before you've optioned floor mats. The Denza Z tears that pricing logic apart. In the United Kingdom, the Z Coupe starts from £142,900, about 276,000 Australian dollars, with the Spider convertible from around 309,000 Australian, and the track-focused racing from around 334,000. Now, compare the benchmark. That coupe price is line ball with the Porsche 911 Carrera GTS in the UK, a car that costs from $449,000 plus on roads in Australia. Even the racing undercuts the 911 Turbo S. The evidence is in the reaction. Australian motoring press covering Goodwood immediately framed it against the Porsche price list, not against other Chinese EVs. The verdict is simple. On numbers alone, the Z resets what supercar money buys. Number 6. 1,180 kilowatts. Here's the problem for the establishment. Power used to be the moat. Not anymore. Every launch variant of the Z runs a triple motor all-wheel drive setup. One 500 kilowatt front motor and 2 340 kilowatt rear motors, producing a combined 1,180 kilowatts and 1,240 Newton meters. The specifics get silly fast. The Coupe does 0 to 100 in 2.25 seconds, the Spider in 2.3, and the racing on semi-slicks in 1.96 with a top speed of 300 kilometers an hour or 349 for the racing. There's more coming too. A Nürburgring-developed special edition promising over 2,000 horsepower and a 0 to 100 time under 1.7 seconds. Benchmark it against Tesla and the Model S Plaid, the poster child of EV acceleration is suddenly the slow one, while the second-generation Tesla Roadster still doesn't exist. Verdict: BYD didn't match the segment, it jumped it. Number 5. The 9-minute charge. Charging time is the reason most people won't daily drive an electric performance car. The Z's answer is the headline act. Every variant uses a 76 kilowatt-hour second-generation Blade lithium iron phosphate battery built into the chassis itself, and it supports charging speeds up to 1,500 kilowatts 10 to 70% in 5 minutes, or 10 to 97% in 9 minutes. For context, Tesla's fastest public superchargers run at a fraction of that rate. And here's the part that matters for you. This isn't hypothetical overseas tech. Flash charging sites at selected Denza dealers in Melbourne, Sydney, and Adelaide are expected to be operational by the 4th quarter of 2026. The evidence is already rolling out with the Z9 GT launch. Verdict: a supercar that refuels in the time it takes to buy a coffee kills the last practical argument for petrol. If you're getting value out of this breakdown, hit the like button. It genuinely helps this channel punch above its weight against the big automotive press. Number 4. The range reality check. Now the honest one. That small, light 76 kilowatt-hour battery comes with a cost, and it's the number BYD isn't leading with. Claimed WLTP range is 408 kilometers for the Coupe, 399 for the Spider, and just 380 for the racing. Drive it the way 1,100 kilowatts begs to be driven, and real-world figures will land well under that. Benchmark it, and the gap is stark. A Tesla Model S Tourer comfortably clears 600 kilometers, and even Denza's own Z9 GT claims up to 599 kilometers WLTP from its bigger battery. The evidence from the spec sheet is clear. BYD deliberately traded range for weight, chassis, stiffness, and that 9-minute recharge. Verdict: this is a weekend weapon and a track car, not a nullarbor tourer. Whether the 5-minute splash and dash offsets that is the question you need to answer before you fall in love. Number 3. The chassis is smarter than the straight line numbers. Straight line speed is cheap in the EV era. The problem is making 2,200 kilograms dance. The Z Coupe weighs 2,230 kilograms, which is properly heavy against a 911, and BYD knows it. So the Coupe and Spider run D-Seuss M intelligent damping with air suspension, the Racing gets coil springs, and every variant wears carbon ceramic discs with 6-piston front calipers, magnet torque heliological damper tech previously seen on Ferraris and Corvettes, with predictive road sensing. The design evidence carries weight too. It's penned by Wolfgang Egger, the man behind the Alfa Romeo 8C Competizione. With carbon fiber bodywork and interior components to cut weight, and unlike any Porsche coupe rival, it genuinely seats 4. Verdict? On paper, the hardware is legitimate. The unknown is calibration, and that's what the road tests will expose. Number 2. It's already proving itself where it hurts. Chinese performance cars have a credibility problem. Big claims, no lap times. BYD's fix was to go straight to the temples. The Z has already run test drives and lap record attempts on the Nürburgring Nordschleife, and the special edition was developed specifically for that circuit. Then the full-range Coupe, Spider, Racing, and Special Edition made its public debut at the 2026 Goodwood Festival of Speed, running up the hill in front of the world's most skeptical audience. The Racing backs the theater with hardware, an adjustable 3-stage carbon fiber rear wing, and a multi-channel cooling system for the motors and brakes. Verdict: this is exactly the playbook Porsche wrote, prove it on track, then sell it on Saturday. BYD is running it back at them. Number 1. Will Australia actually get it? Here's the problem every Australian watching this actually cares about. None of it matters if the Z never lands here. The honest answer is, it's not confirmed, but the breadcrumbs are strong. Right-hand drive production is reportedly expected by the end of 2026, and Denza Australia says it's keen to bring the flagship to local showrooms as its dealer network expands. Local boss Mark Harland has said he's actively asking headquarters for a sports car, while flagging that volumes would be small and prices high, and that it hinges on the B5 and B8 hitting their targets. The supporting evidence keeps stacking. The Z9 GT arrives in the third quarter of 2026. The flash charger rollout is locked in, and the brand is openly chasing top 5 luxury status here. Verdict: if UK pricing translates, a genuine supercar in the high 200s would land on Porsche's lawn with nothing to answer it. So that's the Denza Z absurd power. 9-minute charging, honest range compromises, and one big Australian question mark. The bigger story is what it represents. The price of entry to the supercar club just got cut in half, and it happened faster than anyone in Stuttgart expected. If you want to know the moment Denza confirms this car for Australia pricing, specs, and whether it's actually worth your money, subscribe now, because that video goes up the day it happens.